What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's not really a review, but more so, I don't know. It's really just like a talking video, right? There's not. It is a review sort of, but it's not a traditional review. Anyways, this video is for the people that are on the that have snoring problems and or sleep apnea, potential sleep apnea, right? Unless you already know you have sleep apnea, right? So how a CPAP machine basically changed my life and helped my marriage, right? So unfortunately, if you suffer from snoring, you don't know. The only way you how do I say this? The only way you suffer from snoring is because you wake up feeling like crap, right? You don't get the rest that you need. You don't get the rest that you need, right? Because you're snoring. So, and if you have sleep apnea, you stop breathing, right? Um, Honestly, I don't know how I survived work trips without my wife next to me to keep me alive. So, anyways, so sleep apnea basically is you're sleeping and your airway somehow gets blocked, be it your tongue, be it something in your mouth, and you stop breathing for X amount of time and you just stop breathing. You end up choking and gasping for air. But all this is probably just happening and you don't even necessarily wake up from it, right? And snoring, on the other hand, is just what snoring is. You're just snoring, making all this noise, and your mouth is gonna be dry when you wake up. You're not rested and sleep and stuff like that. So the true person that suffers is whoever you share your bed with, right? And potentially people around you, because you're sleeping and snoring, so you don't really hear yourself, right? But the person next to you, sharing that bed with you, or potentially the people living with you, depending on how hard you snore. Because I had a roommate, his snoring was so loud, I couldn't sleep because we had a sharing wall between our room, and he sounded like a bear in hibernation. Okay, so anyways, so this video is about basically how a CPAP saved, not saved my marriage because it wasn't like that, but it helped our marriage, right? One, how did it help my marriage? Oh, before that, sound machine will also help. If you snore, if your wife or whoever you share your bed with puts the sound machine, I have it next to me, so it drowns me out a little bit more, or I had it next to me, so it drowns me out a little bit more, helped her sleep. But we didn't know this until after we had a baby, right? So imagine having a baby and your significant other in the room with you while you're snoring, keeping potentially the baby up. It didn't really affect my son until he was like 1 years old or so, maybe two. He would actually make fun of me, right? Not make fun of me, but he would say, "Oh, like dad, that's like dad," and then he'll make a snoring sound, or if he hears it on TV in a cartoon or something, like, "Oh, like dad," you know. So whatever. So I didn't get a CPAP machine up until it's probably been, I think in January I got it because I finally made an appointment with my doctor about snoring. And he just said, "Oh, I think you have sleep apnea." And then they referred me to a sleep study to do a sleep study. And luckily, the sleep study was in home. You didn't have to go to like some lab and spend 2 nights there or whatever, being hooked up with all these machines and stuff. Luckily, they mail you some device. It's two patches, one above your belly button and one pretty much right under your pecs. Um, you put those on, they're wireless, so they're just two patches with some kind of sensor in them. You put a little finger oxygen thing, like when the ones you've seen in the hospital, right? It's like a little clamp. I'm pretty sure I think that one was for my oxygen. And then you download some app that they tell you to download, and then you turn the app on. It's like it's recording, right? So it's recording your the sounds coming from you, so the snore sounds, and then it's recording whatever these sensors did and the finger one. Whatever you do that for 2 nights, send it back. They will tell you what the results are and then recommendations from there. So mine was pretty crazy. Man, I don't remember. I think in 1 minute, So they say each event is whenever you stop breathing for 10 seconds or more. I think I had like 50 something, um, 50 something events in the course of an hour or something like that. I don't know. I was diagnosed with severe sleep apnea. So basically I don't breathe almost all night. I was like, well, no wonder I don't get any sleep. I don't feel rested when I wake up in the mornings, right? So I ended up getting a CPAP machine because a CPAP machine you can only get through a prescription from your doctor, unfortunately. Can't just buy the I mean, sure, maybe you can buy them somewhere out of pocket, but for the most part, my understanding is you can only get these through a CPAP prescription. Luckily my insurance covered it. So if you have insurance, check your policy and specifically look for DME, durable medical equipment coverage or allowances, whatever, and it'll tell you how much your insurance will cover and then how much you have to pay out of pocket. Fortunately for me, I have pretty solid insurance. I don't have to pay anything out of pocket besides my copays, and to have the machine, I don't have to pay anything. So, anyways, like I said, the true person that suffers, I mean, it is you, but it's whoever you share your bed with because they're constantly having to, sometimes you might roll over and you might be right next to their ear and hitting them with a snore, or even just in general, you're just there, right? There's no hiding it besides maybe a sound machine will block it a little bit, but sometimes it's not 100% feasible. They have to constantly be shifting you or moving you or adjusting you because you're like not breathing, your face is turning blue. Like for me, at some point, my wife said my lips were purple of how deprived of oxygen I was at its worst. It also could be your weight, unfortunately. I didn't start snoring until I got overweight, right? So, anyways, the CPAP machine truly saved my life. Not, I don't want to say saved my life, but it helped my life immensely, to the point now that if I go to sleep, if I accidentally fall asleep on the couch, because I'm a dad, and dads do that, randomly just fall asleep on a couch, I will wake up at some point in such, like, I'm upset that I fell asleep without it. I have to take it with me now when I travel. Luckily, the one I got came with a little travel bag, and doesn't count. If you fly, it doesn't count towards your bag allowance, at least with Southwest and United. Check your whatever airline you're with. So basically you'll get three bags, right? You'll get your carry-on, personal, plus your DME, your medical equipment. But your medical equipment cannot be packed in your personal or your carry-on. That will that it needs to be its own thing. Anyways, and it's free gate check. I mean, it's free checked if you really want to. I didn't want to because I've seen videos of how they load luggage and stuff, and this thing is very fragile. So, anyways, my sleep overall has improved. I don't snore anymore. Even with the mask on, I don't snore. I only breathe through my nose, from my understanding. Because I've asked my wife if like I still snore with the mask on. She said no. Because sometimes you can snore even with the mask on, depending on what mask you have. Because there's different styles of masks. I have the full face one that goes all around here, kind of like a fighter pilot or a painter's mask. But they do have some that's nasal only, so it only goes like here. But if you snore, because it's only here, there's nothing supporting your chin, so you might have to wear like a chin strap. Um, there is one that's just the mouth essentially. So I do have another mask that goes around my mouth and just my nose just sits on top of it. I don't like that one. That is the F30, I think. I don't like that one mainly because when you move around, the one on your nose, because it doesn't go in your nose, it's just resting on top of your nose. If you shift just a little bit, those little air holes will shift with your nose and or not with your nose, and the air leaks. So you need these to you need this to have a full seal. Luckily, if you have a beard, like at least like mine, doesn't really break the seal because I don't know if it's positive or negative air, so it gets sucked to your face, right? So when it's off, when you don't have the machine on, it doesn't, it just sits there. But once you turn on the machine, it suctions to your face, and ideally the seal won't break. So unless you're like me, you have to wash your face beforehand because the oils and stuff will make the mask slip. Um, so anyways, like I said, my sleep got better. My sleep got better. I don't snore. I feel well rested now. My wife gets better sleep. My son doesn't sleep in our room anymore. He has his own room now, so it doesn't affect him. Um, the only way it affects him is because I'm in a better mood the next day when I'm off, and he has a better, well rested father to play with or to hang out with, whatever. I'm not upset or in a bad mood because I didn't get enough sleep. So, if you have insurance and you think you may have sleep apnea or you do in fact snore based on the person that you share your bed with is telling you or somebody is telling you, I would say go to the doctor, get a referral to a sleep study, do the sleep study, and ideally get yourself a CPAP machine. Um, Hopefully your insurance will cover it, majority of it, because they are expensive. The one I have is about 1,000 some odd dollars. The mask, the headgear, the stupid hose, everything is expensive. The mask itself is like $200. So yeah, check your insurance policy if you have it. Get it. It will substantially make your life better. Make your life better for you. If you have kids, if you have a partner, will make their life better. Um, I can't. So this is more of a serious video, if you will. But anyways, if you have it, check it out. If you like this type of video, um, don't forget to like and subscribe. Till the next one. Peace.